Barbara, thank you so much for joining us today. I'm such a huge fan of the brand, and to meet you as the CEO is superb. We're going to start way back.
Okay.
You were born in France. We touched on all the different places that you lived. How long were you in France? And tell me, you lived everywhere.
Yeah, well, I spent a lot of time in France. First of all, thank you for having me, Sheena. This is very exciting. Really nice meeting you today. So France it's almost half of my life I spent there. So, a long time, a lot of memories from my childhood, my teenage, my time as a student, but also my first job was in France. So I lived there initially 28 years. Then I moved to Belgium, lived a couple of years in Brussels, and then moved to Germany, lived in Düsseldorf for another 5 years. And then the work brought me back to Paris for 4 years. And then I moved here in the UK in 2010, so it's been 15 years. And I did a little jump into Italy in Milan also.
Goodness.
At some point.
Any favourite places?
London, of course.
I love to hear that.
Of course.
What makes London so special for you?
Well, the energy, I think is so cosmopolitan. I've always, because I lived in different cities, I always felt a little bit like never part of it somehow, like always an outsider. But in London, I've never felt that.
That's incredible.
I think, the English are so welcoming of other cultures.
Yeah.
And I always felt good. And I love the energy of the city. It's vibrant, but not overwhelming. And I love the international side of it as well. And the fact that it's so green, so important for me. Such a green city.
I love to hear that. I'm London's #1 advocate, so that's great to hear. Before joining Joseph as CEO, you've worked in some incredible places. Marnie, Daimler, Furstenberg, Furla, Hugo Boss. Anywhere else that I've missed?
Pringle of Scotland.
Incredible.
A little bit. I think that's it. You said it all.
How did you start in fashion?
Well, I started actually on a bold move.
Okay.
I always knew I wanted to work in fashion. Growing up in France, it's very much part of the culture, what you wear, choosing your clothes and everything. And my mum loved fashion, and on our coffee table, there were always Elle and Vogue. And I used to tear up the pages that I liked. And I've always been interested in that side in this industry, the creative side of the industry. I also had a grandmother that absolutely loved the department stores in Paris. And when I was
they're so fabulous. They still are brilliant.
Yeah. But at the time, it was like, and she used to put my hair on a ponytail. I had brown hair, and she used to put on a very tight ponytail. So tight it was hurting. And she used to say, "Oh, you would look very good as a salesperson for Chanel." That was a thing. That was the ambition she had for me. So somehow it was sticking in the back of my mind.
Gosh, how proud she'd be now.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah. Well, I never worked for Chanel, but never say never.
Well, Joseph's pretty good. Okay.
And so I saw an advert. I finished my studies, and I saw an advert for Hugo Boss, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is my entry into the fashion world. Initially, I wanted to be a designer. I have to say that. And I've been completely redirected into general studies because I can't even draw a house.
Okay.
And at that time, if you can't draw, you can't do art, you can't do fashion. So I see this advert for Hugo Boss for a sales assistant in a showroom. So did not need it to have a lot of experience, just a good degree, and then, the willingness to do and to learn. And so went to the first 3 rounds of interview, went really well. 4th interview, I was like, oh, geez, a marathon. Yeah. And the 4th one, the person that became afterwards my boss said, well, you're the runner-up with another young lady, so it's you or her. And I think I did another 4th good interview. And I went back home and said, I really need that job. I really want it. I want to work there. How can I convince him? And I decided to actually the next day call him. So I had his secretary 4 times. And by the end, she was like, okay, I'm going to pass it on. And I said to this man that would become my boss, Mister, I don't know how you will take my call, and I'm so sorry if you take it the wrong way, but I just felt like I needed to tell you, if you give this job to someone else, you're making a terrible mistake, because this job is designed for me. Basically, I ended up the phone and I said, oh my gosh, what did I do? But, you know, if it did not want it to choose me anyway.
Good for you, yeah.
It would not have chosen me, but I thought if he hesitating, maybe I can show even more my willingness and my motivation. So
I hope you got the job.
I did.
Okay,
I got the job, and the rest is kind of history,
Yeah.
and kind of not. It's a lot of, you know, learning and hard work, and but that's how I ended up in the fashion industry, and I never left.
Rose the ranks. Incredible. Is there I was going to ask if there's a particular memory that's particularly transformative for you, but I mean, that's one
This
of
is
them,
one of
because
them.
that's entirely transformative.
And I think what has been transformative for me is to have worked for very different companies for a long time, where I could really understand and embed the culture. So Hugo Boss was the first one, German company, where there I really learned the discipline, the attention for details, the efficiency in execution, the respect for the product, for the fabric, for the make. That's been very transformative. My experience with Fola as well, I stay also 7 years there, working with Italian, you know, the creative thinking, the solving any problem. You know, you come up with a problem, the Italians are, we have a solution, don't worry.
There's such a difference in
Oh, totally.
running a business with the different cultures.
Totally. And my last experience, which has been very transformative as well, has been with Diane van Furstenberg, where again I stayed 7 years, you know, working for an American company, so completely different. It's like fast paced,
Okay.
go, on it, nothing is impossible, dream big, you know, and all those cultures put together has really shaped who I am today as a leader.
Gosh, that's so interesting. When you joined Joseph, the company was in financial distress. What were your first priorities? How did you set about, I guess, kick off?
Well, first of all, I have to say, I knew obviously what I was, you know, taking on board, and it really did not faze me. It really inspired me. And there was a lot to do and a lot to be done actually all at the same time, simultaneously, to be able to bring results. So one of the first things we focused on was the product, was tapping back into the DNA of Joseph. And there we had to make a lot of hard decisions on really refocusing on, you know, what actually is the core of the brand, so women's wear. We had to streamline the collection, make them smaller, make them more efficient. So a lot of work around the product, a lot of work around the organization as well, the team. We needed to have the right people into the right seat, and that meant also some tough, you know, conversation and some tough decision, because when you involve people, it's always hard. And we need to work also on the culture with the team, you know, to revive the culture of Joseph. This culture of pioneering, of always looking forward, of energy, and also on all of our operational system, the way we were working, the way we were operating, and the systems we were operating with. So, yeah, putting all of those priorities
All at once. Every single one's a priority.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But this is how, you know, when things are unstable, this is when actually you bring stability, and you need to bring stability very, very quickly.
So the brand is classic, there's heritage.
There's a lot of heritage.
So how do you maintain that alongside innovation?
Through the discipline. So it's about knowing what your brand stands for, you know, why you're there. And with Joseph, it's about timelessness. You know, we create clothes that are there to stay in your wardrobe for a long time. We create a product that's effortless, that is not something that restricts you, but that makes you feel good, and also it's about the elegance and the sophistication. So it's working around those core values of the brand, but pushing those boundaries by being very customer-centric, meaning you look at what the customer, how your customer evolves in her life, how the women's are evolving in their life, and they evolve every year. You know, every year, because the context is changing around us, we're changing. We don't notice that because this is very subtle, but you know, we're going back, for example, in 2025, we're going back and wanted some sharp tailoring, and in 2021, we did not wanted any of it.
Yeah,
you know?
of course, yeah.
So it's about looking at your customer, talking with your customer, and understanding how their life is changing to be able to bring that innovation into their life within your parameters.
Your recent recruit, the new creative director, Mario Arena. Tell me how this has changed the business.
Oh, I think the arrival of Mario into the brand is coming as such a good moment. So first of all, Mario himself is a visionary, and in a lot of ways, like Joseph himself, Joseph Etegi was, you know, he was a pioneer, was a visionary. Mario has that. He loves women, and he loves transforming women, and he loves to make them beautiful. And he's been in the, you know, London Fashion Week for some time already, and I think he's seen the brand growing, evolving, so he's very familiar with the codes of Joseph. And I think what he's bringing to the table is, that willingness to make us feel very good, you know, to make us feel confident while actually hiding our uncertainties, because we all have some little thing, you know, and the shapes that it creates, they enhance what you want to enhance on your body, and they hide what somehow you want to hide or not emphasize. So the shapes are beautiful, his forms are beautiful. He's obsessed with fabrics, he's obsessed with creating, innovating, and I think what he's creating at the moment is a lot of collectibles, you know, pieces that you want to wear and you want to keep.
Great.
But pieces that have a lot of personalities. And I think the way he works is also very modern for the type of customers that, you know, we have in the brand. They're very discerning, but also they're very conscious of the value for money, because they're looking for authenticity, and they're also looking at preserving the environment, you know, so investing in some pieces that you can keep rather than, you know, continuing to consume. And so you have all of that into the right equation.
I think that's changing a lot, actually. Consumers are spending a little bit more, keeping those pieces for a long time, making you feel good.
Absolutely, and innovate and putting your money somewhere where you feel it's right. You know, where the value is there.
Tell me about some of your favorite pieces.
Well, I took one of them with me today.
Okay.
I think that will be for the collection that's in store
beautiful.
right now. That will be this coat. So that's one of the fabric that actually the team developed in-house. It's a wool mohair brushed. And you can see the shine, like in the texture and the depth of the texture, I think is wonderful. I love this accessory that he created. That's with declinating in our handbags, in our jewelry. It's like a very tactile, we call it the bin, and if you touch it, you just want to keep your
it's beautiful.
finger on it. It's wonderful.
Just the shape of it, actually, it's very feminine.
Exactly, and this cocoon shape of this coat with the fins sleeve is just, there's something you wrap yourself into. It's like a
big warm hug.
A hugging blanket, a very stylish hugging blanket. Yeah, that's my favorite piece.
I love it. Busy women on the go. I love to nosily know, what are your essentials? What do you carry around in your bag?
Oh, okay. So let's have a look. My phone, to start with, always. And a phone charger, obviously. I always have my reading glasses, because I can't see much without them. My sunglasses, because in London,
you never know.
You never know. The weather can turn. obviously my cards and ID, some Kleenex because I have a lot of allergies. I'm always sneezing, so that's good.
Okay.
Hand sanitizer because I shake a lot of hands, and I love the smell of this one, by the way. I also have some mints because, again, you never know. My little MOT pouch.
Okay. I love what it's called.
And I have those MOT pouch everywhere. In my bags, I have it in the office, I have exactly the same, and I have one at home. So it has a bronzer, because sometimes you need a bit of a glow, and I highly recommend this one. It's fabulous.
Oh, lovely.
I have my favorite lip liner, I have my favorite lip oil, I have this thing that I also highly recommend, which is the new Victoria Beckham.
Oh, I love her stuff, yeah. Eyeliner.
Eyeliner, it's wonderful. I have my mascara because, you know, to look like fresh and awake, you need that. Hand cream always, and then a hairband because, again, you never know. What else do I have? Oh, of course, poo bags. Because my dog is normally always behind me, somewhere with me. I have my car keys because I drive everywhere, so similarly. I also have something to read all the time. I love reading, but I don't have much time for reading, so I spend my time informing myself more than anything. And The Economist is where I take a lot of my, you know, global insights. And then at the moment, I'm actually reading this, which is The Life in the UK, because I'm applying for my dual British citizenship this year, so I need to know all of this book by heart, which is pretty tough.
About life in the United Kingdom?
Yes. So you need to know all of this, the history, which I think is important, you know. Obviously, all the parliament and the juristic system, which is important, the royalty, which is important, but there are some things in there that I think are not that important.
I'm sure. I mean, I'm pretty sure UK residents who were born here don't even know most of this.
Do you know who David Weir is?
I have no idea.
Well, I did not know either, but I need to learn everything about David Weir. Which is a Paralympian who uses a wheelchair and has won 6 gold medals over the Paralympics Games. He has also won the London Marathon 8 times.
I mean, that's incredible, but I didn't know it'd be part of an exam or... I mean,
and there's a question, well, there could be a question on him.
So you're studying?
So, yeah, very thoroughly at the moment. So every time I have a second, I'm going through a page and I repeat and make sure I know before I present myself to the test.
Great.
So wish me luck.
Good luck. That's a very thorough handbag. Thank you for sharing that.
You're very welcome.
Let's talk about downtime. How do you balance? I mean, it's I'm sure a really demanding leadership role. How do you set boundaries? How do you manage work and life?
Well, I set boundaries by not setting them very strictly. And that's how I balance my life. I think when you have a role that is demanding, when you have responsibility and you take ownership of something, you can't say my job is a 9 to 5. My job isn't. You know, the reality is there are some moments where I work constantly. Even on holiday, I need to bring some work because the business demands it, because something is happening that demands my attention. So I would say I do that by being flexible and doing things at the fullest. When I'm at work, and I want to be productive. I want to be efficient. But those periods can last, you know, sometimes for 2 weeks, 3 weeks. When I started at Joseph, this period lasted for almost 2 years, you know, where I needed to be on like constantly all the time. And when I do that, I'm there, my head is there. But similarly, when I switch off and when I can allow myself to switch off, then I do, you know. And if I have 2 days or 3 days, where the business allow me to switch off, then I don't even touch my emails, barely.
So what do you do when you do take that time to switch off? What does that look like?
It involves a lot of outdoors because I love the fresh air, I love to be out, I love nature, I love animals, and you'll see me normally outside with my dog training. I have big dog, a Doberman called
beautiful.
Heidi,
Okay.
that I train for. I compete with her in obedience.
Okay.
So I'm actually dog training instructor, certified dog training
Goodness.
instructor.
Okay.
So I do a lot of that because
Yeah.
I love it. I also spend a lot of time with the people I love. You know, my family, my friends. We're very sociable.
Yeah.
So we're out in London in a nice restaurant. We buy a house by some friends, or we have some friends over for dinner. Yeah, a lot of social activities.
Nice.
and outdoors.
Switching off.
Yeah.
And what about travel? Where does travel take you for work and also for pleasure?
So for work, I've been very lucky in my career to travel a lot. And I have to say, what's wonderful when you travel for work, you don't have the time to do everything you want, obviously, because you're not there for your leisure. But you normally travel with people from the country that are there to welcome you, and they make you discover the culture in a different way, the little alleyways that you would not do as a tourist. And I've been all across the globe, you know, from all Europe, Eastern Europe, the Middle East, Asia, the US. So I've been very lucky to do that.
Anywhere on your bucket list, on your wish list to travel?
Yes, definitely. I think the next time I can have a longer time off, because I think it would take me at least 3 weeks, would be Patagonia and Antarctica.
Nice.
To do that as an expedition, that would be very.
So you definitely like the outdoors adventure.
Yeah. And when we travel for pleasure outside of work, it's around. For us, it's around. There's always a purpose. So, or we go somewhere to discover culture, the history, the food. Like we would go in India, for example, and do a trip in India, or the landscape. We've been to Himalaya, trekking in the Himalayas, amazing, just for the mountains and the beauty. Or we go for an activity. My husband, we love water sports, so we go kite surfing.
Wow.
Or we're on a boat somewhere, somewhere preferably sunny.
Yeah.
And I have to say, Greece has a very big place in my heart. I love the Greek islands.
Okay, amazing. Did you do that this summer?
Yes.
Great. What is a luxury for you? Something that you treat yourself on that's not work related?
Luxury for me is time. It's having the time to sit down with a cup of matcha, looking at the world passing by, wherever I am, sitting, and just being in my own thoughts and think about things I want to think just for myself.
Yeah, it's a wonderful luxury that we all can't carve out time for.
Yeah.
How do you unwind? So if it's a particularly stressful time, we've had a busy work period, what do you do to relax?
Well, I tend, first of all, to take my commute back to work as a time to debrief with myself and to analyze, you know, what has been great in the day, what hasn't been great, what I or we as a team we could have done differently or could have done better. Just to analyze and to kind of get over, you know, and if this is something stressful I've been through, at least I know why it's been stressful. So really to analyze what has happened in the day, and that helped me to leave it there in the moment and to move on. So that's my little back from work routine.
Nice.
And if I've had something where I can't really, with my own thought, get over and I'm still mulling over it, then I solve it with a glass of champagne.
Fabulous.
So that's the trick.
Do you have a morning? Is that morning or evening?
Well,
both are good.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
Do you have a morning routine?
Yes, I do. My morning routine is every day when I'm here in the UK to take my dog for a walk outdoors. I'm lucky where I live. I live in the countryside, so I take the dog off leash and I go for an hour to an hour and a half if I can find it. I wake up early and go with the dog, and we do a mix of training, some play, some running, and it's I don't have a phone. It's just me and her. It's just, you know, our time, and just seeing her so happy, so engaged makes me so happy. And it doesn't matter whether it's sunny, raining, cold, snowing, we just go, and that's for me And that's the time where, I just prepare myself for the day.
That's such a great way to just clear your mind and be fresh. And
Totally. It's almost my meditation time.
Yeah.
And because I'm so, connected to her and so engaged with her, I have nothing else running in my head. So come back home, have my breakfast, which is always a 5-minute soft-boiled eggs and a matcha tea, and I'm good to go. Yeah.
Oh, that's a lovely routine. I love that. That's fabulous. I'm going to go to the quickfire round. I think I know the answer to your first one. What's your coffee order? But I think it's matcha.
Yeah, it's matcha. Okay. But it's not a trend for me. I've been drinking matcha for, I think, more than 10 years for sure. So I'm glad it's getting more popular because I can access it much more now. But
do you have a whole routine with it?
Yeah, of course. Okay. Yeah. And I go often to Japan, so I buy my matcha as much as possible in Japan. Yeah.
The good stuff.
Iced almond matcha is like, I can drink that all day long.
Oh, fabulous. I might have to try
that.
With
champagne, yeah.
With champagne. Have you mixed it before?
No.
No, not yet.
Try, mind you.
What's your favourite cuisine?
It's a tough one. I love food so much. I think French is always what I tap back into because my mom was a great cook and I have so much recipes from her. But I love Italian. I love Mediterranean food like Greek. Italian, Greek, Turkish, Lebanese.
All of them?
Yeah, all of them.
What's your perfect date?
My perfect date with my husband is probably a little weekend away. And it takes all sorts of forms because we're a bit adventurous. We also like our comfort. So sometimes we go in a manor house in the countryside with the dog. The dog's always involved. So a manor house in the countryside, a beautiful hotel with a spa. Or sometimes we do lately we've been in something beautiful in the spring. We've been glamping in Wales.
Great.
It was just the two of us in that like really nice hut. We had all the comfort, but we're in the middle of nowhere. It was fabulous. So yeah, that's our time to get together and spend, reconnect and spend our time together. We both travel a lot and we're both busy.
So very important to have that time.
Yeah, definitely.
If you had an extra 5 hours in the day, how would you spend it?
Oof, I think I would try to sleep a bit more to start with. More exercise. I will spend more time on my reformer Pilates because I'm obsessed with that.
Okay.
I would also spend more time like doing my makeup and my hair and choosing my clothes. I love doing all of that, but I normally do that in the car, like while driving. I think my fingers have muscle memory of where my lips are and literally the mascara and everything. And spend just a little bit more time for my husband, my dog, and myself.
If you're down, what cheers you up?
What cheers me up? I have to say I'm rarely down. I try to look at things from a very positive side. And I try to enjoy every moment of life. So, as I was saying earlier, if something is stressful or I'm not feeling great about it, I'm just analyzing it. That helps me to leave it back in the past.
I love that.
And I think, but it happens that I'm down, because things happen in life and champagne.
It's very French. What's the best compliment you've ever received?
I think something that always touched me is when someone leaves the company for a good reason, they move into a different role and they come and thank me. That's always something that's
so they've had pleasure, they've enjoyed their time. What's your go-to drink? Champagne. Dare I ask that?
Matcha and champagne.
Matcha and champagne. Is there a song that you're listening to on repeat? Or a favourite song?
No, there's not a... Well, I love all type of music, very varied. So I don't really tend to have like someone, like a band or something I really love. But I think there is a song that is on my cooking playlist that is the number one on my cooking playlist, and I could put that on repeat. It's called Home. It's from Caribou,
Okay.
And I love the title of the song, I think, and that's why I like it. And I love also the rhythm and...
Okay, I'll have to listen. Yeah. Do you have a favourite piece of jewellery or clothing or beauty product?
I have a lot of all of that. But I have to say, if I have to choose one piece of clothes that always makes me feel good, has to be a blazer. A blazer is just, you can dress it up, dress it down,
Easy.
you know. And it feels like every time you put one on, it feels a bit like an armor.
Yeah.
You know, feel more confident somehow. Yeah, love a blazer.
Is there a trend that you're totally over?
Yeah. The gym leggings outside of
the gym.
The gym.
Fair enough.
I'm like, why? There's so many nice clothes. Why?
And the socks over it. Do you love that too?
Yeah, I love that too.
Okay. Advice that you'd give your 21-year-old self?
Just be light, you know, because you're not saving lives. You're doing fashion. Obviously, it's important. It's a business, but I think it's important to remember sometimes there are things that matter so much more in life. So just focus on,
Take things lightly.
Take things lightly, yeah. Not that I don't, but there were moments, I think, somehow in my career where I was a bit intense, you know, like everything was so important. And
if you weren't doing fashion, what would you be doing?
I would be a musician in a band. And that's highly impossible because I can't play an instrument.
Okay,
I can't even sing, so it's impossible. But I love, you know, like when you look at a band, that's, obviously we're often focused on the singer, and that's great, and they give a great performance. But sometimes you look in the background, and then you see the band, like their team play.
Yeah.
You know, they're all connected, and they're just having such a great time together. So they're having a great time, giving a great time to other people.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's fabulous.
That's a fantastic job, I think.
Is there one thing you can't live without?
My shower oil. I know. I'm obsessed.
Really?
This is
which brand is it?
Aromatherapy Associates.
Okay.
It's called Deep Relax. I should probably not use it in the morning, but oh my gosh, the smell of this thing is just absolutely gorgeous.
Good to know.
I travel with it everywhere.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, absolutely love it.
Is there one book you think we should all read or a film that we should watch?
I have watched, well, it's not a new movie, mind you. I think it's from the late 50s. I came across it lately. It's called 12 Angry Men. Oh,
it's great.
Incredible. Yeah. I would highly recommend. And it feels like very right for now, bizarrely, because it's about, you know, not taking for granted everything that's presented in front of you, not having any preconception, prejudice, you know, and just think beyond what's in front of you. I don't want to say too much, but this is a suspense somehow. It's brilliantly done. Like, you know, the entire movie happens in one room, but I highly recommend it to everyone. It's available everywhere. Yeah. I think it's a classic, but I've never seen it before.
It's great. I saw a stage adaptation of it actually a few years back, and it's brilliant.
Yeah, it really struck me.
Very captivating. Yeah. Who would you love to share dessert with?
I would not have a dessert with anyone because that's not my favorite meal, I have to say. Okay. I skip that very often. I'm not like a sweet person. But I would have a feast of little tapas from all around the Mediterranean. Imagine like a lot of little plates from Greek, Lebanese food, French food, Italian, all together on a big table. So I think I would have to invite a lot of people for that, not just one.
Okay.
I would definitely invite David Attenborough because of my love for animals and travels, and I think it would have so many like, you know, fun stories and nice stories about behavior and stuff like this. I would love Nelson Mandela because, you know, the human side of things, humanitarian, I can't say it.
Humanitarian?
Yes, thank you so much for your help. Yeah, and for, you know, the great lessons in life, and I think it would be great to have him around the table and all he have to say. I'd love to have Salvatore Dali for a completely different reason, just to understand what was going on in his head would be fascinating. Lady Di, because why not? You know, she would have a lot of good gossips as well, I think.
Pretty epic table so far.
And at that point, if I could bring on the death, I would bring back my dad for a good laugh, because he had a very witty sense of humor, and I think he would really enjoy that company.
Yeah, I love that. And my final question, if you were to write a book about your life and career to date, what would it be called?
Enjoy.
Fabulous. What a wonderful way to close it. Thank you so much for your time, Barbara.
You're very welcome, Sheena. It was a pleasure meeting you. Thank you for having me again.
Thank you.